It's time for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here in Jeddah. Welcome everyone to TFL Season 5, Round 11 of the Championship. Live from Jeddah. And we are ready for Q1 with a full grid of 20 drivers. A very competitive grid, mind you. WR Milan has joined us today, as has TF Shane. Shane hasn't been there every race due to other necessities that he had to do, but he's here today in Jeddah. We have Yagizan. Rohan, who has joined TF, is also back to league racing, and this will be his first race, I think, since returning to league racing. So very interesting what he can do here tonight. And excuse me beforehand if I at moments cut off my microphone because of some coughs that I'm having today. I'm trying to do the best job I can today, and hopefully you'll enjoy the commentary and the race here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Few drivers on there, our laps 5 drivers out. Ferens also has joined us once again. Ferens, a very fast driver, also returning to league racing. Luckily, it was a shame not seeing him on the grid. Good to see him back here in TFL. Yeri, I think, is second in the championship at the moment. I'll have to look at it. I'll take up the championship standings right now. In the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari is on top. Ferrari have done pretty well in the last few races here in TFL, and they will continue, they will hope to continue their streak today. Yeri on his first lap, he's in third in the championship actually. Yagizan has overtaken him, so suddenly Davey being in second position last race and Yeri being in third, Davey and Yagizan have actually swapped positions. Now Yagizan is in second, still leading the championship. Ball in his Ferrari, and Yagizan is driving the Ferrari as well, of course, is in second position, which means by default they are leading the constructors. Even if Yagizan wins this race with the fastest lap, with pole position, he won't be in the lead because Burrell has a 33-point lead at the top of the championship. And while we were on board with Yeri, he invalidated just took one corner ago. One corner before we talked about him. Yeri invalidated his lap at the fast-flowing circuit here in Jeddah. Really excited to see what Milan can do. So let's go off board here with Milan for a full lap here around Jeddah. The F1 Circus has arrived here this weekend at Jeddah as well. Ferrari once again looking very strong, with Red Bull very close behind, it looks like, from the practice sessions. Both Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen have been up there, splitted by the two Ferraris. So Sainz was in third, and of course Charles Leclerc being in a first position in FP2. But what can the Red Bulls do here today? Shane has gone fastest with a 128.842 on the mediums. And Ono instantly beats that, 128.198. 7/10 in it. Of course, those times, the time by Ono has been set on the soft tire. Milan has invalidated his run. So let's go on board with Yeri. Yeri is going for a lap once again, almost hitting the wall, just like Carlos Sainz did today at FP2 as well. And you have to maximize every part of this track, and it just looks so on the limit. Oh, Yeri! What is he doing? Yeri has gone into the wall. Might be a little bit of desync. It looks like a little bit of desync from Yeri, because I don't think Jerry was going into the wall on purpose. Hasn't validated his round as well. QFT Tayman, also a very fast driver. 29.3 on the mediums in the Haas. Baldo Championship leader on the softs in the Ferrari. And has gone quickest through that first sector. Robin has retired, it looks like. Where has he retired? He has retired in the first sector, so he probably crashed his Alfa Romeo somewhere around there. Joey 131.309, comfortably slowest of all drivers up till now. Just on the power this section. Well, also fastest in the second sector. Can he keep that going through that third sector? Misses the apex. Oh, and now has invalidated his run. Really tricky corner. That combination, Charles Leclerc, last year went off in FP2. So that was last year. There Ian is also on the lap, but has invalidated his lap. Kaya starting his lap. Right about now. In the Alpine. Alpine have started from pole position here at Jeddah. Remember, Esteban Ocon at the safety car restart, one of 2 safety car restarts, started from pole position. Ferrans has invalidated his run. So let's go back on board with Kaya. Kaya, not purple through that first sector. It's a 30.2 for the first sector. And I think today the drivers were setting 130.1 or 130.2 as their fastest lap times. So we are comfortably going to be 2 seconds faster in the end, I think, than the real-life Formula 1 new generation cars are at the moment. Purple through the middle sector for Kaya keeps it within the white lines. Not really that strict corner cutting rules here at Jeddah. Kaya almost entering number 27, corner 27 here at Jeddah. Onto the power, opening the DRS, and down towards the line he goes. He has to beat a 128.198 by. Oh no, he does that. He goes 1 second faster, 2 seconds faster, make that 3 seconds faster for the time that the drivers can set here in TFL compared to real life Formula 1. Kaya upping the benchmark here. Ball has gone second quickest in the Ferrari. Is on the mediums, hasn't validated. Yagizan down towards the line, he goes 127.497, goes third fastest, just ahead of his teammate, while Cameron, unnoticed, went P2. 7/100ths down on pole position, or P1 as it is called at the moment. Ferrans has invalidated his run. Luke is on a run as well. It's a 31.1 for the first sector. Is not good enough, definitely not good enough, but he's on the mediums. Milan hasn't set the lap time because he invalidated multiple runs. So let's go on board with the Red Bull driver. What can he do? Not fully committed through that corner. Now it's just a flowing part of the track. Look at his Red Bull and the precision that he uses through that first sector. Passing Davey while he is on a slow lap. Davey hasn't set the lap time as of yet. 4th in the championship, mind you. Oh, Milan almost hitting the wall, keeping just out of the wall there. Oh, and that was contact with the wall. So now I think he has some damage. Doesn't look like it, but certainly has some damage. No visible damage at least. Timon has gone 10th fastest. Yeah, someone went over the line there. I think there was Luke probably 129.0. Yeah, he is invalidated. Dera Marco fastest through that middle sector according to the minimap. Let's see if he can keep up with it through that third sector. Hopefully for him, he'll get a bit of a slipstream off of the McLaren in front of it. Oh, Jerry van Bussel was momentarily on the line that Marco was on as well. Does Marco get the slipstream advantage from the Red Bull. He goes towards the line. This will be a pretty good lap. It's 26.981 for Marco. Good lap from the DRA driver. And that's a good lap time. Kaya has invalidated his... Oh no, has not invalidated it. But Kaya is out of qualifying. He has retired in the pit lane. He thinks he's safe for the next part of qualifying. Oh, Gary. Very close to the wall. Great to see from these drivers how much they are committing here at Jeddah. Invalid though for Mieri through that first sector. Still has to set a lap time. Is currently in the danger zone, as is Ian, Milan, Mika and Wesseling, Robin Wesseling, who has retired from the session because of a crash in sector 1 early on in the session. Mika is now going to start his lap. I don't think he has enough fuel, so he'll probably enter the pit lane. Yes, he will. And Jerry is on. Not on a time lap, because he has invalidated his run as well. Okay, let's go on board with Rohan, the Williams driver, who's now going for a push lap on the softs here in Q1. He definitely has the pace to get through into Q2, but has his time absent from league racing maybe slowed him down a little bit. He maybe has to get back into the rhythm of the league racing. Might have hindered him in actually completing a lap here in qualifying. Well, he went off track, and it doesn't look like Rohan has any grip whatsoever in that Williams. Looks like it handles like the real life Williams almost, because he had no grip whatsoever through that first sector. Ian is also on a lap. There are Ian in the Alpha Tauri. Oh yeah. He was cutting that corner because he missed the apex beforehand. And he comes across Milan, who is on his outlap. Oh, let's pass Ian. Almost making contact with Milan. That was a very close moment here in qualifying. Is almost ready to start another lap. Ian is not going for a lap. Milan is not going for a lap, but is not going for a lap. He's not going for a lap anymore. He's in P6 at the moment. Shane is not improving. What tire has he set his fastest lap on? Has he set his best lap time on the mediums? That might be so. So he has a spare set of the softs. If he did that, good job on him. P13 for Joey. And Davey hasn't set a lap time, a competitive lap time so far. Joey in P13. Rohan this time through sector 1 a bit better than he did before. 30.3 through that third sector. And it looks a bit more tight from the Williams driver now. Can he avoid the wall? Yes, he can. But not there. Oh, that was the slightest of touches with the wall. But Rohan keeps on going. I'm going to miss this Williams livery, actually. I do think the Williams livery this year on the new generation of Formula 1 cars is pretty nice to look at, but it doesn't stand out on the track. And I actually thought the opposite thing from this livery. I didn't really like it at first. It grew on me during the season, and it definitely stands out on track. Rohan goes 6th fastest, so hasn't forgotten how to drive. Rivi goes 2nd fastest. Wow, good lap time from him. Marco has been disqualified? Well, this is something. Marco has been disqualified and is now out of qualifying. All of a sudden. I have no idea what is going on here. But Marco, fastest in qualifying 1 up till that point, has been disqualified. So a huge turnaround here in qualifying. He'll have to come from the back of the grid to finish in the top 10 and even score points from being fastest in qualifying 1 up till that point. Ruffy is continuing on, I think. Looks like he's pushing. And it looks like a pretty tight lap from the Mercedes driver. He of course set lap time before this run, but is he on a run? No, he's 5/10 slower than he was before, so he's not on a run currently. Mika goes third fastest. So in the danger zone, Davy, Jerry and Ian. Robin Westerling and Marco are both out. Marco due to a disqualification. Jerry is on a hot lap. And if he goes faster, then Joey will knock Joey into the bottom 5 and out of qualifying. If Joey can't improve on his time. But he misses the apex at turn 27. Goes past Yagizan. For Jerry it will be a 27.2. Goes 5th fastest in the McLaren. Good lap time from Jerry. Ian 30.2 for the first sector. And that will be good enough for top 10 if he can keep that up. Doesn't need to make any mistake whatsoever on this run. Looks like a good run through that sector now. Goes past Mika on the left hand side. The McLaren nicely getting out of the way. Purple sector 2 according to the minimap. Oh, misses the apex slightly and keeps it within the white lines. Ian continues on his run. While someone has gone out of qualifying. Was it Jerry? Jerry has gone out of the bottom 5. We talked about him a few moments ago. Joey now into the bottom 5. So Joey almost guaranteed being knocked out. Ian goes 7th fastest. That means Davy is still in the danger. I think he's out. I think Davy is out of qualifying here if he can't make it back to the pit lane in time, and he's out. Oh, Vapor has to get it back onto the track as fast as possible. He has done so before he got disqualified, so Vapor is back onto the track in P13. Ference in P15. On the cusp of elimination, can he get his AlphaTauri into Q2? And he goes fastest doing so. Good lap time from Ference. He goes fastest here in Q1. Davy, shock elimination here at Jeddah. Robin Westling and Marco were out already. 2 DRA guys at the bottom. While initially Marco was actually in P1. Joey knocked out, Timon knocked out as well in the Haas. So those are your eliminations. On the cusp of elimination, Vapor Shadow goes through into the second part of qualifying here. And Ono makes it through as well in the Haas. I was looking pretty good at the start of this session, but almost both of them knocked out in Q1. Some drivers still on hot laps maybe. Jerry van Bussel is on a hot lap, but he was slower through that first sector by 1.5 tenths. Cameron has invalidated his run. Shane is not on a run, and Ference is not on a run as well. Joey is improving though. Can he improve 2 seconds though? I don't think he can. That will be a very big margin to overcome in the Alfa Romeo. Don't think he can improve and go into P16. He's knocked out of qualifying. Most certainly if he can't improve by 2 seconds. No, he can't. 1 second though. That is the improvement that Joey can get. Still a 29.7, not good enough for the top 15. Well, I told you, excuse me for some coughs today, but I think I made it through Q1 pretty good, and hopefully that will continue through the rest of the evening. And that is Q1 Ference fastest. Hasn't forgot how to drive. A certain Dutchman told that in Canada 2018 after a bad run of races through the first races of 2018. Max Verstappen told the world he still knew how to drive in Canada well, Farron's fastest here, Ruffy. Haven't noticed him all that much this session, but is in P2. Shane, promising start from him, is in P3. Kaya in P4, retiring really early on in the session, so indicates that he might be able to go faster still. $25,000 in it at the end. Ruffy behind Farron's. And it's Shane also within 1/10 of the P1 man. Kaya was a bit further down the order, almost 2/10 down. Mika more than 2/10 as Cameron. Jerry, 1/1000th of a second between Cameron and Jerry. Yakizan, Ian, and Milan, your top 10. Now let's go through into the second part of qualifying. And remember, the Q2 rule is still within this game. So you'll have to start on the compound that you qualify on here in Q2 if you make it through into Q3. So by making it through into Q3, you determine automatically which starter you will need to start on. And all drivers still within the pit lane. And if I'll have to go with previous races, I think Ferrari will be first out. No, it's actually a Haas of Ono. Ono is first out onto the track. Egizan and Bottle still are in the pit lane, actually. Well, let's go on board with Bottle. Ono. Ono has had a pretty good run of races this season. Has shown some great signs of potential, but qualifying P14 in Q1 isn't good enough here around Jeddah. And I think you'll see a big difference between drivers here today. Gaps actually not being that small in qualifying between the fastest drivers, but some drivers really needing to practice Jeddah, because this the first time it is in the F1 game, of course, because it is it is the F1 2021 game, and the first time we raced Jeddah in F1, it was in 2021. So the first time it's in the F1 game. Not all drivers have had as much practice as the other drivers that are going a bit faster in this session. So a guy like Ono might struggle a bit more naturally because of the amount of track time that he has had on the track. But let's not jinx anything for Ono, because he still has the opportunity go into Q3. 14 fastest in qualifying 1. What can he do here in qualifying 2? Braking for the first turn around the 100-meter board. Chicane, slow chicane. Actually, one of the slowest combinations of corners around the track, because this first sector for the remaining parts is actually very fast and flowing. Through this part we go actually like some kind of S's to the left and to the right once again. Keeping to the right, avoiding that wall on the right hand side and not invalidating your run. On the right hand side, DRS wide open down towards the banked turn now. Braking around 50 meters. Not that big of... well, you don't need to brake as much as you should for any hairpin, because it's actually banked and opens up on the exit. Through this part in the second sector, Ono hits the wall, but he can continue on his way in the Haas. And it's all down towards the engine now. Braking around 50 meters, turning in and keeping it within white lines. Oh, that was close for Ono. Opening that DRS, where we saw Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton collide last year out when Max tried to let past Lewis. But that ended in tears for both drivers, really. Both could continue on their way. But it was a controversial moment in 2021. Definitely. Ono comes towards the line. It will be a 1:27.488 for the Haas driver. Now let's switch towards Jerry from Bussel. He is in sector 1 as it stands. I think Ference is on his way to complete a lap as well. Ference across the line. No, it's actually a different driver. I'm sorry. Jari on the mediums, 30.7 in the first sector. Arno has been the one and only driver to complete a lap here in Q2. Yellow flag in the final sector because of the Aston Martin slowing down. Jari nicely making his way through that second sector on the mediums, remember, so I don't think this will be a competitive lap time from the McLaren driver, but that is the natural effect of using those medium tires. Now turning towards the left hand side, keeping it within the white lines as well. Oh, great to see any on board from this track. The Ferrari now coming towards the line, Yagizan or Ball. Let's keep an eye on the timing screens. It is Yagizan, and the McLaren teammate of Jari, Mika, has set a 28.5. Now Jari coming towards the line on the mediums. It's a 28.0. Good lap time on those mediums. Great job by Jari. Let's look. And let's see who is on a lap. Shane is going on a lap in his Williams. So let's go off board with the Williams driver, his teammate Rohan, settling into league racing once again. Shane has been on it in a few competitive leagues with very competitive grids, as Ian goes fastest of all, 27.320 on the softs. Shane has been driving in some very competitive leagues and now tries to set the fastest lap time here in Q2 in TFL. Round 11 at Saudi Arabia. Thank you for joining us here in Jeddah. Oh, Shane goes off track. Oh, and has now invalidated his run. No, not even. Hasn't invalidated his run. But surely lost a lot of time. Luke, meanwhile, went fastest in Q2. 27.1. While Ference instantly beats that 26.969 in the AlphaTauri. Very curious to see what Shane can do here because of his actually cutting the track. He cut the track in the first sector. How much time did it cost him? Shane through turn 27 now, opening the DRS now. Picking up a bit of a slipstream from the McLaren who's going into the pit lane. The McLaren of Mika. And it's P4 for Shane with an off track. No idea how he didn't invalidate his lap. But surely that might be looked into by the stewards if that happens in the race multiple times. And drivers won't pick up any penalties. Rohan, meanwhile, 27.4, really close behind Shane, so has picked up the pace in his Williams. But Ference, fastest of all still. Meanwhile, Yagizan, going faster than his previous attempt on the mediums, probably made a mistake somewhere, because he's 4.7 seconds faster through that second sector. Yagizan in a Ferrari, on his way for a big improvement here in Jeddah. On board with the Ferrari driver, not having a lot of fuel left for his hot lap, but enough fuel hopefully for him to get through to the finish line. DRS wide open and down towards the line he goes. It will be a 28.255. Good enough for P8. Splits the McLarens as it stands. A lot of drivers have invalidated his run, their runs. Ruffy is on a lap on the soft, so he's not looking for a start on the mediums. Let's see who have qualified on the mediums. Jari, Yagizan and Mika all have set their benchmark times on the mediums. As is Cameron. Cameron hasn't set the lap time. As of yet, he's still in the pit lane. And Ruffy will probably knock Mika into the bottom 5. So that means Mika surely will have to get back out on track on the soft tire. Ruffy in the Mercedes will be challenging here for P1 will be challenging Ferenc for the fastest lap time in qualifying 2. DRS wide open, and down towards the line goes. Coffee, yeah, he goes fast. It's only 6.649, and not by a small margin, but actually 3 tenths. Great lap by the Mercedes driver. What can Milan do here? Milan in the Red Bull, I think, can do a lot more than bottom 5 here, but he hasn't lap time. We're going to talk about 5 lappers here, because tomorrow, streaming from Twitch, there will be a 5-lapper tournament organized by Talent Factory with some of the best drivers from the PlayStation scene. We can't reveal all those drivers as of yet, but be sure you check in to that stream. I mean, I'm cutting the curb there a little bit. Yeah, be sure to check out the stream tomorrow. The winner of the event tomorrow gets a €20 PSN card, so stakes are high. Milan not having a good lap. He's moving into the wall a few times there on the left hand side as well. Oh wow, this has been a really scruffy lap from the Red Bull driver, but looking at the times, yeah, P10, P11 and P12 all almost mediums. Yeah, Milan aborting his lap. As we said, P11, 12, 13 on the mediums. So the soft runners all within 1 second of each other, and I do think that is quite close here around Jeddah for quite a few drivers, because this definitely isn't the best lap for a lot of drivers. Milan wanting to start his lap, but immediately makes a mistake. How much time do we have left in qualifying 2? Oh, Milan retires in the pit lane, so surely there isn't enough time to start a lap. Yellow sector 3 still, because of some retirements in the pit lane. Notably, Milan, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Milan could have gone for another hot lap here, but has decided to retire in the pit lane. So Mika definitely out of qualifying in the danger zone. Yagizan, Mika, who is on a run. Jerry, his teammate, crosses the line a few seconds ago to start his run, and Yagizan on his way towards the finish line now to start a run as well. Cameron still in the pit lane though. Has he now selected the softs? Yes, he has. Cameron has selected the soft tire. Okay, so he's getting ready for a run. Mika just needs to get through into the next part of qualifying. Just needs to set a lap time. Good enough for Q3. Doesn't have to be P1 Mika. It just has to be good enough for qualifying 3. And then you can push all the way from there for pole position. Keeping it nicely out of the barrier. Ferenc has retired in the pit lane. Roughly fastest. And behind him it's Ferenc, who has now retired. Mika almost a second faster. It will put him at a 27.5. But remember, this final sector, 27, is where you can gain a lot of time as well. That hairpin-esque corner at the end of the Jeddah Corniche circuit, breaking around 50 meters, nicely turning in, but missing the apex slightly there, Mika. On towards the power he goes. DRS wide open, towards the line he goes. 27.2 might be the time that he's going for. 27.1 will be the time that Mika sets here in Q2. Good enough for P5. As Jerry from Bussel goes P2, his teammate. Good lap time from Jerry. So that shows that Jerry is pretty fast and pretty nifty around Jeddah here. Might be challenging for P2 in the championship once again against Yagizan, as Yagizan seems to be struggling, or is he going to improve massively? 7.5 tenths faster than his previous attempt. Also put him around 27.5. I think he'll be challenging for top 5 on this run. The Ferrari driver on board with him through 27 27 we go on towards the power. DRS wide open and towards the finish line we go. 27.2 might be the time, also 27.188, not into the top 5, slightly slower than he should be for a top 5, while Shane goes into the top 2, B2 for Shane, 26.8, but nobody can challenge Ruffy, who's still in the pit lane. He's just chilling in the pit lane like no one's business. He knows that he's through. Good on Ruffy. Let's see who is on a lap. Yagi-san isn't on a lap. Is in P7. Kaya is on a lap. He's pushing, it looks like. Yeah, he is definitely pushing. But a Red Bull is coming towards the line earlier. That is Cameron. Cameron! Oh god, yeah, guys, get out of the way. Cameron, towards 27, he goes. Nicely, almost hitting the other wall. Great job by Cameron. The apex perfectly there. On towards the finish line he goes. 26.7. Good lap time from Cameron. Good enough for P2. Simon is up on his time. Oh, into the wall and out of qualifying. Ian is improving. Ono isn't improving by the looks of things. Oh, he is on his lap now. Ono has just started his lap. Ball, championship leader, is in P10 and on the cusp of elimination here. Ian will be the first of the drivers to cross that finish line and see if he can improve and get back into that top 10. I think with the improvement that he's on, it will be good enough for top 10. Yes, it is. P7 for Ian. That knocks Bubble into the bottom 5. Yagi-san might be knocked into the bottom 5 as well. If Timon can get his lap together. Oh, making a mistake. Reminiscent of Max Verstappen in 2021. At the last corner, Timon will set his lap time. It's P14 only for the house driver. Rowan is out. What can Ono do? Ono can be the driver to knock Yagi-san out of qualifying. And it will be very important for Ono to get into that top 10, to get as good of a qualification as possible, to get a good as possible grid position for the race. P12 for Ono in the house at the moment. DRS wide open. Towards the line he goes. Ono goes. P9 knocks Yagi-san out of qualifying. And that was close. Wow. Really close. 1/10 minutes between Ono. Less than a tenth. 6/100ths of a second between Yagi-san and Ono. Ono actually putting himself in P9. And knocked out Milan, Timon, Roam, Borrell and Yagi-san, both Ferraris leading the Constructors' Championship, have been knocked out of qualifying. And this race will really upset the championship standings here, with Ferrari not looking good in qualifying and both eliminated in Q2. In just a few moments we will start Q3, and this has already been one of the most fascinating qualifying sessions of the TFL Season 5. Can anyone challenge Bo for the lead in the Drivers' Championship? Well, his direct rival Yagi-san is just in front of him in P11, and look at how close the grid is at the moment. P1 to P10, all within 5 tenths, and that will prove something for the upcoming Q3. Ruffy would want to continue his great streak here at Jeddah. Fastest in qualifying too. Might still be able to get pole position here. And we have started Q3 here at Jeddah. Well, no Ferrari to get out onto the track first of anyone. But I think it's an Aston Martin or a Mercedes. It looks like an Aston Martin. Getting out onto the track first, and that is Luke. And Luke is now starting his first run here in qualifying. First his out lap, then his hot lap, then his cool down lap. And actually some speculations were going around that the Grand Prix in Jeddah might not continue this weekend because of a terrorist attack in the city, only 10 kilometers away from the Jeddah Corniche circuit in real life. But Formula 1 has confirmed that the Grand Prix will continue as scheduled, and hopefully nothing out of the ordinary will happen come race day or come Saturday. So the final runs. A lot of drivers on their out laps. Oh no, now out of the pit lane as well. Ono was on the cusp of elimination in Q1, was on the cusp of elimination in Q2, but is making it through into the final part of qualifying in the number 2 Haas. And, well, I don't see how he can get up to the front of the grid, but don't discount this driver, because Ono has shown some great pace in the past. He might be able to continue that great run. Luke has started his first hot lap here in Q3 in the Aston Martin. Aston Martin not going good around the real life Jeddah Corniche circuit. Hopefully for Luke, he can get around the track a little bit faster than their real life counterpart. For the first sector, it will be a 30.352. We have seen some faster times in qualifying 2, but it's not too shabby at all for Luke for a banker run here in Q3. The second sector is actually a lot of full throttle. One real banked hairpin, and then that fast flowing right left hander. This is just all full throttle, and I wouldn't really corner the corner. Oh, almost hitting that wall, Luke, but greatly avoiding it. DRS is wide open now. And this will be the part of the track where we will expect the most amount of overtakes to happen. Probably some drivers will try some moves around other parts of the track, but that will be the main part of overtaking. Oh, as the AlphaTauri behind almost lost his car, but look, provisional pole, 27.398 in the Aston Martin. Ferrens is on his out up as Jerry van Bussel goes fastest, 26.8 in the McLaren. Then the Red Bull comes over the line of Cameron. Cameron is now starting his hot lap. And the Alpine of Gaia is starting his hot lap as well. The McLaren of Mika has invalidated his run, so he won't go quickest of all. Ferrens is going to start his hot lap now in the AlphaTauri. Behind him it's the Haas of Ono. Ono, what is he doing? He has invalidated his run also. Shane has invalidated his run as well. And behind him on the road is Luke, who had completed this lap a few moments ago. So let's go on board with Cameron in the Red Bull. Where can he go? Can he go better than he did in Q2? Can he possibly go onto the front row? Oh, can he possibly go onto pole position here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit? Full throttle towards the end of Sector 2. 57.715 for Sector 2, keeping it within the white lines. Great part of the track this. Now full throttle down towards turn 27. Not as close to the wall as we saw. I don't know exactly who that was previously, but someone almost clipped that wall. Cameron goes P2, 127.2 as Ruffy, of course, fastest now in qualifying 3 is on provisional pole position in the Mercedes. Mika has invalidated his run. Jerry goes into the pit lane now. Behind them, it's the AlphaTauri. I think it will be between Ferrans and Ruffy for pole position here at Jeddah. Because Ferrans has shown great pace around Jeddah. Ruffy has shown great pace. What can Ferrans do? Ferrans goes P2. 1/10 behind Ruffy. Ruffy does have the advantage for now. But it is close for pole position here. 1/10 in it, and a great lap time by Ruffy. A lot of drivers still in the pit lane. Shane in now on his out lap. 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this session. That is on the cusp of making it for a second run. I don't think he'll make a second run if he will complete his lap. No, definitely won't, because he should do his out lap, a hot lap, in lap. That takes about 4.5 minutes. Then go back into the pit lane, change his tires. He won't have enough time for a second run. So this will be Shane's only run. And I don't know why he would go out that soon in the session. Because the grip might be getting better throughout the session. Might improve throughout the session. He's the only driver trying to go for a lap at the moment. Ferrans is coming into the pit lane now after completing his hot lap. Ferrans probably has a feeling that he should be able to get pole position here, but he has to find that 1/10 somewhere around the track. Shane into the pit lane realizes that it might be better to wait to set a lap time. Does wait to complete his lap. Jerry is on his out lap. Pretty early in the session as well for his final lap, but yeah, he will be the first driver to enter his second lap in qualifying 3. Has to find a bit over 2 temps. I don't think that is impossible for Jerry, actually. Jerry might be able to get pole position here if he gets his run together, if he gets that perfect lap here around Jeddah. And we haven't seen a perfect lap throughout the session. We have seen some good laps, really good laps from Ruffy, but not a perfect lap, I think. Jerry, if he gets that perfect lap together, might still be able to challenge Ruffy for pole position, but that will be a very hard task for the McLaren driver. Coming around that final corner, going wide to start his final hot lap here around Jeddah. Let's go aboard with the McLaren driver, opening the DRS, the big letterbox at the end of the car, and braking around 50 meters, turning into that slow chicane here at the start of the track, and he immediately invalidates his run. Ruffy, meanwhile, talking about Ruffy a few moments ago, is on his out lap for his final attempt at a hot lap. Mika is on his hot lap now in the McLaren. First sector really satisfying to watch, and oh, Mika making a mistake around that first sector. Yeah, that is invalid. Not even invalid now. Well, the settings are on strict. We have checked them. The settings are on strict, and Mika hasn't invalidated his run. Kaya is also on a run now. Let's go on board with the Alpine driver. Hasn't set a lap time so far, so this one will have to count. Mika surely will continue on towards the finish line and then start another lap. Give it another attempt. There's Jerry, Mika's teammate. Jerry is still on his invalidated run. Really safe from Mika. Not that impressive a run, mind you. No, he has backed off. Kaya still hasn't backed off in his Alpine, so let's go back on board with the Alpine driver. Great corner. Great combination of corners. Gets a little bit of a slipstream from Jerry. No, Jerry goes to the right hand side, not giving any advantage whatsoever to the Alpine driver. Ian has retired from the session, will be 9th quickest at best and 10th quickest at best, because Kaya is now coming towards the line and improve, sets the lap time, and it will be good enough for P3. Just misses out on the front row, so second row for Kaya. Then it will be Jerry who starts his final lap. Cameron on his out lap will be the next driver to start his lap, and behind them it's the AlphaTauri of Ferran starting another lap as well. Behind them it's Luke, who is going into the pit lane. No, oh, into the pit lane he goes. Out of qualifying, P7 at best. Shane will be the first driver to cross the finish line and set his final hot lap here in Q3. Will this lap be good enough for pole position? Hasn't set a lap time so far. He's been on it through Q1, through Q2. Can he get pole position here, possibly in Q3? No, he can't. He misses out by 3/100ths. Wow, what close to Ruffy. Front row for the Williams driver and the Mercedes of Ruffy now starting his lap. The McLaren of Mika crossing the line now. What can Mika do? Mika goes P4 onto the second row of the grid. Ono on his way down towards the finish line he goes. I think this will be P7, P6 for Ono, P7 for Ono. Next up, it's Kaya. In the Alpine has invalidated this lap, so won't improve. It's P5 for Kaya. Then Jerry van Bussel has invalidated. No, won't improve. Then next up, it is the AlphaTauri of Ferrans. Ferrans has been on it through qualifying. He is improving by a margin that will give him pole position as it stands. Can Ferrans get pole position here? Yes, he can. 26.535 for Ferrans here at the Jeddah circuit gives him the pole position, but still it isn't over as of yet because Ruffy is improving by 2/10 as it stands. Great run from the McLaren driver. Can he get back at pole position? Through the third sector he goes, getting out of the way for Cameron, was on that racing line, braking around 75 to 50 meters, missing the apex slightly here. Ruffy now opening the DRS, down towards the finish line he goes. Can he improve? And can he beat Ferrans' lap time? Yes, he can. 26.331. Great lap time from Ruffy. And it is pole position for Ruffy here around Jeddah, with Ferrans slightly disappointed in P2. But a great effort from the AlphaTauri. And we are, well, expecting a great spectacle of a race here around the Jeddah circuit, with Ruffy and Ferrans going wheel to wheel into that first corner, hopefully. Shane in P3, Mika in P4, Kaya in P5, Jerry in P6, Ono in P7, Cameron in P8, Luke in P9, Ian not setting a lap time here in Q3. But Ruffy, what a lap time from him. What a lap from the Mercedes driver in the end. That is a great effort. 2/10 faster than Ferrans in P2. And we know how fast Ferrans can be in league racing. As the session now has ended, that was an amazing run from the Mercedes driver. I don't think I've seen a 0.3 around Jeddah that I can remember on PlayStation on the back of my head. But that was, well, I'm a bit flabbergasted by that lap time. It's amazing to see such a competitive grid here in TFL. Ruffy fastest with Ferrans next to him on the front row. They will battle it out through the race, hopefully. Shane in P3. Good lap time from Shane as well. Mika, Kaya, that is your top 5, and we are getting ready for the race. And that was a banger of a qualifying session. Looked like for a moment that Ferenc had the pole position in his grasp. But then Rafi came and snatched it back at the dying stages of qualifying. "20 seconds for the drivers to select their strategies, to select the tires they will start on, to select the amount of fuel they will take into the race." And the drivers are on the way for their formation lap. Let's look at the tires. A lot of guys have actually used the softs outside of the top 10. So Marco, Robin, Davy all on the softs. Rohan on the softs as well. With 6 drivers on the mediums. Yagizan, Borrell, both Ferraris. Tijmen, Milan, Vapor Shadow and Joey all on the mediums. Joey in P17, good qualifying from him. It's not a career best because previously he got through into Q2. I think that was in the Dutch Grand Prix. Ian has disqualified. I think because he collided with someone else. That doesn't make sense because the other driver should have been disqualified as well, while Cameron now gets disqualified as well. Ian and Cameron might have had contact with each other. They are both on the grid now. Let's go towards Rafi and Ferenc, because I think this will be the battle to watch this race. If Rafi won't have the perfect start, because that might mean that he will get away in the race and never look back, because Rafi seems to be on it today. Let's turn on the telemetry and lap data before the race. Put your predictions in the comments now. Who do you think is going to win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in TFL Season 5, Round 11? I think it will go to Rafi or Ferenc, but I'll give it to Ferenc, and the odd prediction is for Marco to get a podium. That is my odd prediction here at Jeddah. Anything can happen at a street circuit, as Jolyon Palmer once said. You'll have to be alert on a street circuit. And if Marco might be able to get through all the carnage at the start of the race, that might give him the podium position that he deserves, that he would like to go for. 25 laps around Jeddah. We are getting ready for the race to start here around Jeddah. 3, 4, 5 lights on now. 5 lights are out. It's a good start from the Mercedes of Rafi. He leads going into turn 1. Ferenc cuts off the Williams of Shane, and Kaya moves up into P5, but makes contact with Mika, and now Mika back into P4. It's Mika, Kaya and Jerry battling it out here on lap 1, and it's a kerfuffle behind from P11 towards P20. All drivers battling it out for the positions there. 1 second between Mika and Shane already because of the moment of contact between Kaya and Mika. Hopefully for them that didn't cause any damage whatsoever, and it's yellow flag because Milan is out of qualifying, not out of the race, and it's a safety car. Safety car immediately. Tijmen cut the track, got him a 5-second time penalty as well, and it's a safety car in lap 1. Rafi got the perfect start and is still ahead of Ferenc in P2. But it was going loose between Mika and Kaya. They were battling it out at the exit of turn 2. making contact. Hopefully for them, they didn't get damaged. But does anyone try to go into the pit lane now to switch to the mediums or either the hard tire to make it through to the end of the race? Maybe. Might be the strategy to go with it around here today because of the safety car. One DNF already. It is Milan. Joey has been relegated back to P19. Ruffy continues on. Same for Ferret, same for Shane, Mika, Kaya, and Jerry will continue into the pit lane. Yes, he will go into the pit lane. And Davey has got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in that pit lane. Not necessary at all, but the Mercedes driver got that penalty. Hard tires for the Mercedes driver. What does Jerry do? He's on the mediums. Yes, Jerry is going for that medium run. The medium stint around Jenna thinks he can make those mediums work. That was actually the same thing that we saw in real life. Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen. Max on those mediums not lasting till the end of the race. So Hamilton overtook him on those hards in the end. Might the same be true for the race here online? I do think though, Rowan and Davey put on those hards, possibly because they knew they got that 5-second penalty at the pit entrance and will immediately go back into the pit lane now to switch to the mediums. New mediums. That might be the strategy that they'll go with. I understand fully why Ruffy and Ferenc, Shane and all the top guys have stayed out because of track position, but I do have the feeling that Jerry is in a good place here in P14. We've seen this before in TFL. TFL Season 4. Remember Luke Janssen actually winning in Spain because he switched to the hard tires at the first safety car. Won that race. Thanks to his teammate TFL Charles. Actually helped Luke Janssen out on his way to victory. Charles in that race being a bit of a mobile chicane for a lot of drivers. But it was great to see that amount of teamwork in TFL and actually giving it their first win as a constructor Ferrari. And now Ferrari are doing quite well in TFL still. Now look at Davey and Rowan. Yeah, Davey and Rowan both are coming back into the pit lane. Hopefully for them they don't get a penalty now. And they don't. Now they will change onto the mediums. Yes, they will. Davey changing onto those mediums after waiting for the 5 seconds. Marco is actually retired in the pit lane. Well, no podium for Marco. That's for sure. I don't know why he immediately retired, because the race is still going on. Davey is stuck in the pit lane. No idea why that is happening. And now he's on his merry way again. Well, luckily for him, it isn't in the middle of the race that Davey has to wait. That leaves Rowan and Davey in P17 and P18. Yeah, Davey and Rowan in P17 and 18. The bottom positions here. Davey will have to hurry up a little bit to get back to the train for the safety car to go in this lap. I think they'll make it this lap. That depends on the speed of the safety car. But Ruffy getting the perfect start, still in P1. Friends not having anything to say about it because of the perfect getaway from the Mercedes driver. Timer still with the 5 seconds. I don't know why he didn't pit, because if he pitted, he would have lost those 5 seconds and could have changed to a different compound. But I understand why he didn't change to a different compound, because he's on the mediums. He'll change to the hards and then back to the mediums to be at the back of the field, but now you'll have those 5 seconds added to your race time at the end, which isn't good at all. The safety car is coming in. You saw the message at the top end of your screen. So that means the safety car is coming in at the end of lap 3. The lap 1 safety car will now end, and we will continue racing here around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. When will Ruffy go onto the power? He still hasn't gone onto the power. And now he has. Ruffy has gone onto the power. Uses his ERS to defend from Ference in the AlphaTauri. But Shane is looking behind to push as well. Haas has gone off, I think. At the back of the grid, or is it Vapor Shadow and Joey? Vapor Shadow has entered the pit lane. Probably will retire or change his front ring. Joey into the pit lane as well. They have been involved in an incident. Shane couldn't overtake Ference going into turn 1, and the top 5 has remained the same. It's Ruffy from Ference, from Shane, from Mika, from Kaya in the Alpine. Then it's Cameron, Luke, Yagizan, Tijmen and Borrell behind. Borrell putting pressure on the Haas driver, but getting a bad exit himself. Now Robin Wesseling might be able to make the move on Borrell, and he did. Robin makes a move on Borrell and moves his way up into the top 10. So good start from the Alfa Romeo driver. Came from P19 on the grid, is now in P10, made up 9 positions, obviously due to a lot of drivers pitting in the first lap. And it's again a safety car. What has happened? Why again a safety car? Once again. Well, it's another safety car. And this might put a spanner in the works for a lot of drivers here, because those softs will stay in optimal conditions for a lot longer than usually is the case. Joey on the hards. I'm looking at the incident. It might have been. Might have been there or not. Yagizan moves to leave the race. Tijmen behind. And look at it, Jerry, after that safety car, Jerry actually now takes the provisional lead of this race after having made his pit stop. And looking at Rohan and Davey are suddenly in P5 and P6. Both have made their pit stop. Well, and Ruffy now in P7 will need to make some overtakes. Ference, Shane, same for them. A lot of drivers who were in top positions because of that second safety car, and now, well, at the back of the top 10 are not even in the points. Kaya, Cameron, Luke, not in the points. What was there? I think the safety car is on the left hand side. No, the safety car is in front of Yagizan. Yagizan still hasn't. But let's look at the different positions that have been made up. Yagizan and Tijmen, big winners, as is Davey, coming from P18. Thing is, Davey made his pit stop. The only drivers not to have made a pit stop is Tijmen and Yagizan. Both haven't made a pit stop so far, and we have driven more laps behind the safety car than we have raced here at Jeddah. That is a bit reminiscent of last year's real life Grand Prix in 2021, where I think half the race was under yellow flags. It will remain on the track, the safety car, for one more lap, I think. The safety car isn't coming in this lap for certain, so it will continue on for definitely one more lap. But I'm still curious, what caused the safety car to come out once again? Sometimes you want the safety car to come out in a race. And Davey are swapping position. Sometimes you want the safety car to come out onto the track. Sometimes you don't want the safety car to come out onto the track. And this is definitely one where we don't want the safety car to come out on track, with a very small incident on track. it came out instantly. Sometimes 3 cars crash, nothing happens. But that is the F1 game for you guys. Burrow made a pit stop onto the softs, from the softs to the mediums. Wanted to change those softs to mediums because he thinks he can continue to the end of the race on those mediums. I think he can as well. Is already at the back of the grid. No, behind Joey in the Alfa Romeo. But as predicted, Jerry is in a good position now. In P3, Ono, provisional P2. Rohan, provisionally on the podium. Davey in P4 provisional and counting down. Because of Yagizan and Tijmen, who haven't made a pit stop so far. I really don't know why they haven't made a pit stop, because it certainly is better now to lose those positions than to do it later on, because the gap will remain between the back of the field and Yagizan and Tijmen. Because if they will pit now, they can get back to the back of the pack. If they pit later on in the race, the gap between last place and go on. Let's not talk about that, okay? Let's not talk about it. Well, safety cars coming in. Rafi, oh no, Rafi and Ferenc have made contact, or actually collided, or ignored yellow flags. Maybe that has something to do with Rohan, but that will be looked into by the end of the race. Oh, Yagizan losing his Ferrari almost immediately at the restart. That means Tijmen and Yagizan will go into that first corner side by side, wheel to wheel for the Ferrari and the Haas. The Haas on the outside. Tijmen, can he take the lead? Yes, he can. Tijmen goes into the lead of the Grand Prix. Yagizan still on the left hand side. Jerry interested in taking the position of Yagizan as well, as Ono has fallen down the grid. I think he made a move somewhere that he shouldn't have and lost out on some positions. Shane moves his way past Davey, but now moves on. Loses out massively. He's in P17 and I think he spun. Yeah, he spun in Sector 1. Yellow flag, hopefully no safety car still. Yellow flag is resolved and we are continuing on with our race. It's Tijmen from Yagizan, from Jerry, from Rafi. Rafi has made a great restart. He's in P4. Yellow flags once again for Luke. Luke in the Aston Martin has made a mistake coming out of the hairpin, the banked hairpin. Now Rafi looking at the back of Jerry. This for the lead, this. And once again a safety car. You are absolutely kidding me. Once again a safety car here around Jeddah. Yeah, the racing that we have seen, absolutely fantastic. But the amount of safety cars, yeah, that's a bit too much at the moment. Question is, will Tijmen take his penalty now, and will he pit? Yeah, he will. But now they will lose out on those positions still. Well, there is a message that there is an invisible tire on the track around turn 8. We are looking at maybe restarting the lobby. So stay tuned. And let's wait for confirmation on the restart of the race, or we will continue on. You'll hear it in just a few seconds. Well, the message from the race director is as follows. The race will be restarted. At the moment, another safety car will come out because we do think this lobby is bugged. There's no confirmation for it as of yet, but we do have a feeling it is bugged, which means that the safety car will come out any 1 or 2 laps. And it's obviously not what you want in a lobby. So we'll wait. If another safety car will come out as fast as the other 2 safety cars have come out, we will restart this lobby for a 25% race. So that means 12 or 13 laps. One more lap behind the safety car before it will come into the pit lane. So now confirmation in the Discord. If another safety car will come out onto the track, the session will be restarted. We are on lap 9 of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Ian has actually got a time penalty for a collision with Cameron. We will be back in just a few seconds because the message between the race director and the commentator. There he's on actually moving his way past Shane. Past now once again. So we'll be back in just a few seconds. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap most certainly. Well, the safety car will most certainly be into the pit lane this lap. Welcome back once again to Jeddah at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Safety car is in this lap, and if the lobby isn't bugged, it will stay in the pits. It won't come back onto the track. Kaya and Cameron have collided as well. A lot of collisions between drivers here under the safety car. Bit unnecessary, I think. But it is time for Jerry to restart the race now. Once again, in his McLaren, he'll lead the field away. Let's look at the telemetry at the bottom hand side of your screen to see when he will go on to the power. And he hasn't gone as of yet. He's still weaving on the track, and now he has gone. Jerry is onto the power. Ken Ferrens come back at the Mercedes of Rodri. Rodri is defending towards the inside. Ken Ferrens take it around the outside. The Mercedes teammate of Davy is on the back of the AlphaTauri. Vapor Shadow gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, and a lot of position changes here at the start. But Ferrens has to remain behind Rafi for now. Yellow sector 1 because of Rohan, I think, making a mistake in his Williams and is at the back of the field. Borrell in P13 lost out to Vapor Shadow, and his teammate behind is on his back but can't overtake him as of yet. But Jerry van Bussel has made the perfect restart and is in the lead. Behind Rafi, behind him is Ferrens, Davy, Ian, Onno, Mika. Cameron, Timon, Robin, and then Shane. Oh, Timon has gone wide off the track. Robin now has a great chance at overtaking Timon. No, he hasn't. Yeah, it's a safety car, and that means the session will be restarted. There is a bug in the lobby, which means the session will be restarted. It will be a 25% race around Jeddah. And the session will be restarted because of a bug in the game. So stand by, we will restart for a 25% race around Jeddah. Yagi's on in his Ferrari. Well, why not? Crash into the wall. And we will return to the lobby, to the main menu. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. So stay tuned for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in just a few moments' time.